at number 2. And I was interested reading a little bit about this record to see that it appears that neither Gorham or Robertson really liked this record that much. And I don't know when those opinions were expressed. Maybe that's changed over time. I don't know. Maybe that was just, after fresh off the experience of recording it or something. But they've both said that it felt rushed and it was rigid and they didn't like their guitar tones. And honestly, aside from the guitar tones, which I think are awesome, I can hear it a little bit. I don't, as good as I think Jailbreak is, I think it could actually be better, especially in terms of the production. However, I think the songs here are pretty stellar, super memorable, super varied. There's a ton of variety on this record. You've got rock stuff like Boys Are Back in Town, heavier stuff like Jailbreak and Emerald, softer stuff like Fight or Fall, poppier stuff like Running Back. I mean, they just do it all on here, and they do it all at a very high level. More so than the prior 2 records, Gorham and Robertson seem just 100% in sync. This is the sound that they had been working up to. It's not totally new, but they're just like really gelling at this point, and their parts are just really good and memorable. And the guitar lines, like you said, in regards to Boys Are Back in Town, that's like a chorus of guitar, and that's just how memorable so many of the guitar lines on this record are, just as memorable as anything that Phil is singing. And I think when you think of Thin Lizzy, obviously you think of the lead harmonies and stuff that they do, but I think there's also a ton of examples on this record of them doing really cool rhythm stuff too, just when they're like chugging through a verse and the way they're just doing it slightly differently, or one is like accenting things a little differently than the other. Just super, super cool. They rarely, if ever, just like completely double up on what they're playing. I think the exception to that is the title track with just that main riff. But you can really hear like in the rhythms of the Cowboy song when they're just like kind of chugging through the verses, just they're doing such cool stuff. And I think on this record, finally, all of their influences have melded into their own thing and given them a really clear identity of their own. It doesn't have like, you can't say like you can about Nightlife that it's like the R&B record or it's this or that. Like it's just Thin Lizzy at this point, and it's all become one thing. And it's great. It's just, I think, very close, if not their best batch of songs they ever wrote. So 4.5 stars for me.